Looking for a surefire way to lose some weight and get a little bit fitter? I can't help you with that. But what if I said to you, you probably already know someone that can? You know that friend that is always there for you. Come rain, too hot, too cold, too wet, tired, sad, angry, fed up, worried, in danger, maybe, depressed, lethargic. That's another word for inactive, by the way. They never fail to come to your rescue 100% over and over again. Bring their mates along to give you the energy and the tenacity to carry on. You are very, very lucky to have such a good friend. They even know when to back off if you don't need them. What a friend, a diamond geezer. But I do have a little bit of concerning news for you. You're going to have to make a decision soon. Your friend is tired and overworked. I've been watching and I can see that they've been a bit despondent lately, coming out when they don't really need to. Sometimes you're not in as much trouble as you think. And if you don't give something back soon, they're going to feel very unappreciated and could become somewhat unreliable, unavailable, not always there for you when you need them the most. So you have a choice to make. You can keep asking for help and support and they will come, but soon enough they will burn out and that will be devastating for both of you. Or you can be a bit more considerate and caring and get your relationship back on track. Give them a rest. Have you worked out who I'm talking about yet? Yes, of course you have. It's your mate cortisol, your great friend, the energy hormone that gets you up in the morning, comes out fighting to protect you from all your stresses, and knows exactly when to back off and let other hormones take over when you need rest, relax, and sleep. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, Court, that's my nickname for it, is a little bit tired of coming out to help when you're not really in that much danger. I know you feel all those stresses, but Court is doing all this work, activating glucose and lots of other hormones. And despite feeling like you need them, you don't use them. You carry on regardless. And what happens then? Hello, I'm Susan from the Healthy Lifestyle Activator, helping people to get their health back on track the easy and natural way. I hope that you are having a fantastic stress-free day because look, if you feel as though you have tried so many times before to lose some weight and get a little bit fitter and you're on the verge of giving up, make notes. This is important. Chronic stress could well be one of the reasons you are not getting the results that you would like. So what exactly do I mean by that? This is a subject close to my heart, as although I was aware of the sentiment of stress and the bad effects of it on our health, I never really understood the seriousness of it until I was 100% immersed in the symptoms and the consequences of real chronic stress myself, and then came to study it. I remember going to the doctors in actual physical pain and him saying, "It's just stress." Yes, I'd been through a difficult time, but he never explained why stress equaled pain. Even now, despite knowing how bad it is for our health, we still hear that on a regular basis. It's just stress. Look, this is important. It's never just stress. But of course, the stress reaction is one of those paradoxes. Is it a friend or a foe? Absolutely both. I definitely tried to treat mine as more of a friend. You see, it is here to help. It wants to find ways to help your body to function at its best. But if you don't treat it with some respect, the exact process that is designed to help your body work to the best of its ability will then be the thing that's creating the problem. You with me? So what does this mean? Well, stress is a word that we use to describe the chemical reactions in our body when we believe something is threatening us. Whether it's real or perceived, it's the same. To create all the biological processes the necessary nerves, the chemicals, the hormones, and the physical reactions, such as alertness, raised blood pressure, and more oxygen intake to our muscles and our lungs to get us moving. Very important. Remember those 4 words: to get us moving. In fact, despite its reputation for being a stress hormone, I do like to call my court my energy hormone. And at the same time, restricting the function of other areas that are not needed, like skin, some other visceral organs, your kidneys, your liver, that you don't need. Your body's nervous system tells your brain there's a stressor. Lucky for us, it's no longer a lion in our society. Well, not usually, but maybe a car heading towards you, an angry person bashing at your door, a heavy storm brewing, which then releases the hormones, sending messages and activating glands and organs to respond in the appropriate and helpful way for us to run or stay and sort it out. And the stressor leaves and the problem is over, the reverse is activated, and excretions and hormones regulate back to normal, and we are relieved and able to relax and eat again. So what does this mean? The body's response to a stressful situation is cleverly designed to help a person stay safe at that moment. How amazing is that? But this is the important part. It's meant to work for a relatively short period of time. It's not designed to be stimulated over and over again with messages to your brain telling you there is something wrong consistently. This is when it becomes your foe, what we call chronic stress, and it gives everything in your body a fierce kicking. Hormones, glands, skin, nervous system, fat cells, energy levels, including exercise, social life, moods, they all suffer when you are consistently stressed, including, as I mentioned, your enormously important digestion. Maybe you've had some experience of a short-term digestion problem from stress. Literally from top to bottom, it is negatively effective, with chemical and mechanical systems taking a real bashing, with immeasurable negative knock-on effects. For instance, if digestion stops working when we are stressed, and we're consistently stressed, it doesn't take a biochemist, a biologist, or a gastroenterologist to work out that could create a problem with breaking down and absorbing the nutrients that we eat to be utilized. That can create imbalances and dysregulation, generating a multitude of systemic problems. Okay, let's go back to our mate court. Well, one of the things court is responsible for is activating glucose production and spreading it all around the body for the perfect purpose of giving us energy. And if your stresses come from something that you don't need that energy for, then what? Do you know what your stresses are? Difficult relationship, money worries, work deadlines, sat at a desk all day long, lack of exercise, excessive alcohol maybe, smoking, anger, disrupted sleep, eating junk food, injury, grief, the list goes on. Emotional, chemical, or dietary, they are all stressors for your body one way or another. And the glucose keeps coming. It keeps coming. Not that different to eating sugar products all day, really. Is that making sense to you? And are you starting to see how prolonged stress could also be the cause of weight gain? And then just to exacerbate the problem, cortisol is also responsible for the release of the hormone leptin. That's the hormone that tells us that we're full up. It's designed to do that, of course, to stop us overeating and stop us eating when we're stressed. The problem is that if your body is consistently stressed, it is going to keep producing leptin. And you might think, oh, that's a good idea. I want to be told I'm full up. But eventually, just as we might take for granted a great friend, we become less sensitive to it. And then we eat more. And as leptin comes from fat cells, as we put on weight, more leptin is released. And in the end, we actually become resistant to it. This is the tragedy of a perfectly designed system becoming dysfunctional when overused. It's important to know this, I think. The more we understand, the more chance there is of escaping the vicious cycle and creating hypercortisolism, too much cortisol, and therefore raised blood sugar, which is at the cause of insulin resistance, which can then potentially lead to type 2 diabetes. Are you with me? So you can make your diet great. And I have no doubt at all that this would be helpful. But all the time you are stressed, it won't work as well as you want it to, or as well as it could. And you'll be driving an uphill battle. I remember my gym instructor years ago used to say with annoying regularity, you won't lose weight and get toned if you are stressed. He said it so often, but never ever explained why. It's also important to know prolonged cortisol can also break down protein in muscles. And this explains why some people find it difficult to get toned while making so much effort. Chronic stress will also deplete nutrients over time, in particular selenium, zinc, folate, vitamin C, which we need for everything. The result of raised cortisol creates hypertension and suppresses the immune system. Here's another problem. When cortisol, due to chronic stress, becomes out of sync with the circadian rhythm, with balanced hormones, it should reduce dramatically at night to give you restful sleep, and increase in the morning to boost glucose levels to get you out of bed. If it's out of sync and raises at night, it affects the quality of your sleep. You wake up tired. What's the first thing you reach for to combat the morning yawn? Processed carbs, quick fix carbs. No wonder you're tired halfway through the morning and reach for more hobnobs. So, if stress is a huge part of your life, take a good look at what you can do to take away or add to reduce it. This is of utmost importance. If it is not dealt with, you are promoting a multitude of underlying health problems: hardened blood vessels, water retention, kidney problems, depression, and fatigue. The important thing to remember is that it's not dealt with will impair your digestion and weaken your immune system. So I believe your first step should be to eat nourishing foods, things that can fight the effects of too much inflammation and balance hormones again. Then you can start thinking about what is causing your prolonged stress in the first place and how to reduce it. It's very, very important. It's your life, your health, and without your health, your life is reduced in so many ways. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for listening. It can be one of the most difficult challenges to address. If you enjoyed listening, please hit the subscribe button for some more tips, or go to the link below to check out the Refresh Your Health program. But don't forget, nothing changes unless you make the decision to start taking action to change. It only takes one action to get started. So go, go, go. Refresh your health. Cheerio. See you next time.